Now, Canada's Prime Minister and the US President Donald Trump reportedly have spoken to each other over a phone call. Now, the conversation comes at a time of growing rift between the two nations over Trump's tariffs and also his comments about making Canada the 51st state. Now, Donald Trump, in fact, has just shared the update on social media platform Truth Social, where the Republican leader has said that it was a very productive conversation and also said that both leaders will meet after Canada's elections. Now, this phone call comes on the heels of Mark Carney's statement on the deteriorating US-Canada relations on Thursday, where Canada's Prime Minister said that the old relationship between Canada and the United States, which was one of the strongest and one of the closest in the world, is over.
With the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperation.
Now, the conversation came just 4 days before Trump's auto tariffs on Canada and other nations come into effect. The US president had earlier signed an executive order to implement 25% reciprocal tariffs effective from the 2nd of April. Now, Canada's Prime Minister said that the government will mull over its next decision, and a decision on retaliatory tariffs will be taken in a few days' time. All right, now to give us more updates on this, we're joined on this broadcast by our correspondent Susan Terani, who's joining us over the phone line from New York. Susan, so this is what Donald Trump says, that he's had a phone call with the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and he claims that this phone call was pretty productive, considering as to the kind of friction that's taken place between the United States and Canada because of the statements made by Donald Trump about Canada should be the 51st state of the United States. What exactly is transpired in this call?
So the conversation came a day after Carney, who replaced former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, delivered a speech declaring that the U.S. was no longer a reliable partner. He also said that, and this is a quote, that it's possible that with comprehensive negotiation we could reestablish an element of confidence, but there will be no going backwards. And as you mentioned, Trump has for months really taunted Canada by suggesting not only that it should be annexed, but also with the tariffs as well. So this conversation comes after that. Usually the Prime Minister of Canada and the United States speak shortly after whether the President comes in office or the Prime Minister is chosen in Canada. But this is the first time that the two sides are speaking, despite the fact that Carney was officially named to replace Trudeau back in February. Nonetheless, it appears that on April 28th, the two sides are going to meet. President Trump says that it's going to be very productive, but there's no denying that there are issues remaining that they have to talk about. But this seems to be a positive step. And it's going to be a good step for the markets as well. They were watching to see what's going to happen with these tariffs, notably with Canada.
Indeed, that's not something we'll wait and watch. Thank you very much, Susan Terani. But do continue to stay on with this, because I want you to weigh in on another bit of news that, of course, has come in about the American Vice President J.D. Vance. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.